And I really do believe that the strength of the movie is really when you get Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons going at it together, man. You know, because that's where it gets intense. That's where it starts to get even kind of funny. That's where it starts to get, and that's where it starts to get strange. I mean, listen, this director, I mean, like I said, look at this fool right here. You know,
it's not even that weird of a picture.
It's weird. You know, some dark thoughts are going in. This movie, I gotta warn you, this movie goes to some, it's a whole lot weirder than you thought it was gonna be. Double Toasted Live is out there. We got 2 more cities to go to. Santa Monica, California on November 14th and Seattle, Washington on December 12th. As for Santa Monica, which will be up very soon, got something special for you. 25% off if you put in the code DT25. Now, that will be for a limited time only. You can go to dtmerch.com to buy your tickets. You can go to x1entertainment.com, which is where the tickets are actually being sold. And you can also find a link on doubletoasted.com. I love this crazy ass director. And at first I thought I was being a look at this guy. Believe it or not, he makes comedies. Yes, I'm a very funny guy.
So silly.
Yeah, what's his name?
Yorgos Lanthimos?
Yorgos Lanthimos. Ha ha.
Isn't
now
it
is
silly?
when you laugh.
Yeah, why aren't you laughing? Some people don't because they don't know how to take his movies because his movies are weird. And even I thought I was being kind of a hipster when I liked a couple of his movies. Like he did the one with
The Lobster.
The Lobster. He did
And the Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah, which he describes as a comedy.
Which one?
Both.
What?
And they're both very dry,
Yeah.
very weird, and very creepy. And then he got into the one with
Poor Things.
Well, before that, what did he do?
Oh, The Favorite.
The Favorite, which is a Victorian period piece that deals with royalty, and that was one of my favorite movies of the year.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
People ask me for my black card. What you talking about? You like that's your favorite movie?
Yeah, yeah.
That was my favorite movie of the year, and
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
maybe I'm going back to my snobbish ways. But then he made Poor Things, and I'm like, I really love this director, man, and everything
Sure.
that he does. I think just because he's a true visionary, he's an auteur. You know, he has a very special brand of dark comedy that he does. He has a signature look to his movies, and I just enjoy all those things, man. But you know, as with any weird, you know, he makes some things that are like, all right, man, you're gone too far.
Well, so when he made The Favorite, which was like, wow, his most accessible mainstream movie, best movie of the year, and then turn around and did the same thing with Poor Things, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, man, you know, he got that out of his system, he's come around, and then he said Kinds of Kindness, and you're like, all right, man, I don't know about you no more.
Kinds of what kind of shit is this?
Yeah, and I went into that shit trying to like it, but Ian and I was
Yeah.
like, I can't.
Yeah. Like anytime, look, with anybody weird, you give them enough praise and compliments, and they just go too goddamn far.
I said weird, not that weird.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, there's some things I just can't get. I was riding with you this long.
Right.
When people making fun of me, laughing at me because I was telling them to go watch The Lobster and the deer and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, people looking at me like I'm crazy, and I stood by your side. But this one, you ain't gonna get my ass whooped. No. So you know what I'm saying is that sometimes you'll as with any director who makes enough movies, you'll get to, no matter how much you love them, you'll get to a point where maybe they're just not doing it for you. And that is where we come in with this movie, because this guy, if anything else, he's also very unpredictable with what he does.
Oh, yeah.
But this seems like it's probably a little more accessible than that last movie because this has somewhat of a simpler narrative or a story, period.
Yeah, the other one was like 3 short films jammed into one.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. But with this movie, which is Bugonia, this deals with a guy named Teddy and his cousin. And Teddy works for a huge corporation, and as we start to learn, that corporation has probably wronged him in some kind of way. And so he goes to say, you know what? I'm not going to only go in and stop this corporation from their evil ways, but also at the same time, I will be stopping an alien invasion. It's like,
wait, what?
It's like, well, you had me, man. I was all about the corporate activism, but he's like, no, man. the head Tiffany, I think, or Michelle's her name, who's played by Emma Stone. No, the main corporate figure of this corporation. Nah, she's not destroying the world through just bad corporate policies. No, she's part of a galactic empire. And her mothership's about to come down, and the only way to stop her is to kidnap her and make her confess and tell us the information that we need that could possibly save planet Earth itself.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a bad time to be Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe it's a bad time to be these dudes right here too. Because Michelle, she got, she don't go down lightly.
Okay.
And listen, when you look at these dudes, Michelle got to be where she is because she's smart. Look at these dudes.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, these dudes been reading shit off the internet, going down, some rabbit holes, and they've been in a echo chamber and all. This is sort of making a commentary about all the people today that get online and just might start out with the best intentions. You might even have something, but then you just go too far with it. You can never deal with what is here.
Yeah.
You can never deal with the problem in front of you.
Yeah.
It always has to be something crazier and bigger and fantastical.
Yeah, it's about the type of person that doesn't stop to think, it's okay if I wear a tinfoil hat. Everyone else is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But are they though? Yeah. I mean, after all, we're all dealing with this man right now. But are they though? Are they? You know me. You never know. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Bugonia.
I know who you are. I know what you are.
What you say? So, man, this has got me back to really loving this director. Mm-hmm. I love everything about this movie, and a lot of that I'm going to get into. I love, we'll get into the performances. We'll get into the look of the film, cinematography. We'll get into some surprising things that I learned about this movie that I didn't know until I got out of it. No, I love everything except for one major thing in this film. And you know me, man, I'm not a negative person.
You can't.
Well, you know what? This is going to be a different Corey today. I'm going to start out with the positive. I mean, since there's so much.
You do that every time.
Well, you know what? I'm going to. Okay, then, let's change it up. Man, No.
Don't even say that.
No. I love this movie too much to actually get that drastic with it. But there really is one thing that keeps me from thinking that this movie is great. And I don't think it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. I think it's something that's personal with me, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about the positives since there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, what you like, Corey?
Well, I imagine I like what everybody likes about this movie, the performances. Jesse Plemons is outstanding in this movie. Him and Emma Stone, they got some great scenes together, but this is his film.
Okay.
He's carrying this movie. It's a guy that just gets better every time you see him, man. In the range on this guy is I never knew he had it, man.
He's come a long way from creepy Todd.
He kind of back to being creepy again.
Although he is creepy in most things you see him in.
Yeah, but I mean, he really does have a lot of range. I think he does get typecast as being a creepy guy. And it's not going to help here because, I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, they didn't have to make him look so damn greasy in this. He looked like a homeless man that's been in the sun all day. He looks like a mechanic that's never taken a shower.
Never washed his hair, ever.
Yeah, everything is just slimy and greasy about him. And when I say he looks like a mechanic that never took a shower, like he just got through working on cars and then got dressed up for a wedding. It was like, man, go in there and wash your ass up.
Right.
Get that suit dry cleaned. How old is that shit?
Baggy ass hobo suit he got on.
Yellow stains on it and shit.
Yeah.
Comb your hair, take a trimmer to that beard.
Yeah, but this is such an intense performance that even that greasiness, because this this guy is on edge all the time. He's on edge about the knowledge he thinks he knows. He's on edge about what he's about to do. He's on edge with this plan that they have go through. He's constantly stressed out, and plus he has the reason behind what he's doing is what's causing him to do this. It just makes him a very stressful, angry person. So it's an intense performance, and it's appropriate for him to be this nasty and this greasy looking. And this is probably one of the most intense performances that I've actually seen him do.
It's pretty intense in Breaking Bad, I would say.
Yeah. Again, he plays Teddy, and I would even say it's worse. Not worse. It's more intense than Breaking Bad. I mean, because
it's more personal in an intense way in this.
Well, he's a guy that you look at, and you know what? It's a very complex performance. I'll let you look at this, and I'll tell you what is so complex about it, and what was so fascinating to me about it.
But that is precisely the limp dick rhetoric that you've been instructed to counter the human insurgency with. You've convinced 7.5 billion people that they're not your captives.
So he looks like a dude that's been pushing a shopping cart around all day.
Yeah.
And that's what you first start thinking. See, what's so fascinating about this is that he's back to being crazy Jesse.
Uh-huh.
So we are used to just having him that way, and we're thinking immediately like, oh, that's just crazy Jesse. Talking that crazy shit.
Uh-huh.
But, then he start to mellow out. And now here we are again. He's great because sometimes he is crazy. I mean, he's completely off his rocker throughout a lot of this movie, and then he's scary with it too. But then, he sounds so delusional that he kind of makes you mad. Because he has his cousin involved in this, his cousin Don. It's like they mutilate themselves in certain ways, thinking that so they can protect themselves against the aliens. Oh. He's, the ramblings that he has, the torture that he starts to inflict. This is kind of like, you start to really kind of hate this guy and say, this guy needs some help. But then sometimes, as the movie goes on, you start to learn about his story, and you kind of want to believe that there's aliens involved just so that he won't be in trouble, because you start to feel sympathy for him. Oh. Like so either, and if we're just taking it from what we see on face value, either he is heavily traumatized by something that this corporation has done to him, and he has a right to do this, or he really is delusional and crazy and he needs help. And he's just put himself and his cousin, who's innocent, in a bad situation. Mm. You start to just kind of be more concerned about him than angry. Yeah. And you want, it's one of those things where you want him to get help before he hurts somebody or hurts himself.
Yeah, I think that it's a really cool character because you're right. I think for the most part, all the characters are kind of bad people, except for Don, which I think will be interesting to talk about. But him in particular, he is that gray character that you love to see because he is an asshole and unhinged. But goddamn, this guy has lived through some horrible, horrible shit that he can't move on from. Like, he lives in that wallow. It's very sad.
Yeah, he's a victim of some heavy trauma that happened. And you start to think that, okay, I mean, we are dealing with this corporate person right here. Well, she must have done something. Mm. I mean, she has an office. she did something. I like his character a lot. And Emma Watson, man. Emma
Stone.
I mean, sorry. God damn it, I always do that.
There's too many of them.
Yeah, we need to get rid of some of these. Emma Stone, man. Damn, I even wrote Emma Watson right there. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
There's an Emma Watson. There's an Emily Watson.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm crazy as he is. Which Emma is it?
Emma Stone, she's a rock.
But Emma Stone in this, man, like I said, it's more Jesse Plemons film, man, but and she's not as complex of a character, and I'm not trying to make that sound bad. It's just that she has less screen time than he does, and not by much. But also, she's a corporate stereotype, where when Teddy comes in, and Teddy, you start to know, like, okay, I don't know what's going on with this guy. Her right off the bat is like, okay. You know what? You are that corporate type, man. You're self-centered. You're always working. You got fake compassion for your employees. You try to make probably something happened. It was a PR disaster. Now you're trying to come in and act like, oh, we do care about our employees, even though you're still an asshole about it.
The 5:30 thing. I need you to let everyone know that they are free to leave at 5:30 from now on, starting today. Okay? But of course, it's not compulsory.
She's still funny because she's Emma Stone. She's still great. because she's Emma Stone. She's just more of a type. But as things go along, as you saw in that scene with her and Jesse Plemons, you do start to see that, okay, she's not going to get out of this situation by being helpless. She's going to be, and she's way smarter than these two dumbasses. You know, at least this dumbass. This other guy, this poor guy, Don.
I feel so bad for that guy. I was so upset watching him live.
Yeah, that there, Don. He's innocent. He ain't got nothing. But you can tell, like, okay, so what are we gonna do here now? Because now we got two powers at play here. We got the power of a person who's very sharp, very shrewd, and is very intelligent. And then we got this guy over here who's just nuts, man. You know, and truly believes in what he's doing. He's so committed to this that he might not be as smart as her, but he's thought everything out to where he's one step ahead of her, or he's just not going to budge on any kind of reasoning at all. It's a very fascinating back and forth between these two.
Sure.
That's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, the way that their relationship develops, it creates a lot of tension, and the red herrings are super interesting. The way that it comes and flows, the storytelling in this, I was really taken aback by it. I was like, wow, you're letting these characters breathe, and every line I felt was poignant.
No, I did too. The dialogue in this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Yeah. Once things get going, and I really do believe that the strength of the movie is really when you get Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons going at it together, man. You know, because that's where it gets intense. That's where it starts to get even kind of funny. That's where it starts to get, and that's where it starts to get strange. I mean, listen, this director, I mean, like I said, look at this fool right here. You know, this
It's not even that weird of a picture.
It's weird. You know, some dark thoughts are going in. This movie, I gotta warn you, this movie goes to some, it's a whole lot weirder than you thought it was gonna be. Like, you think it's gonna be a straightforward kidnapping and everything that you see in that trailer. No, you're dealing with this fool right here. This goes to some, it goes to darker, gorier, and just really strange places. Okay. You know, and that's why I'm saying, you know, I don't know if this is going to be for everybody.
I don't think it is. I mean, Poor Things, was that a big hit?
It was. It wasn't a huge hit, but but you're right. It wasn't.
And the market is changing so fast. Yeah. And I hear this did not do particularly well at the box office, but he is an Oscar favorite, so I think that over time people will start to watch this one.
No, listen, that's not for everybody. There are some things that are for everybody, like HelloFresh. You know, everybody likes that.
All right, Martin, you want to get out of here? Go get a real meal.
Man, you can get a real meal.
He passed up all those opportunities for better help, so.
Yeah.
I wonder what it will be.
You can get a real meal with our sponsor right here, which is HelloFresh. I was looking at y'all like this. I am just waiting for my moment. No, listen, man. We have our sponsor here, HelloFresh. You know, HelloFresh is the service where they bring you these farm fresh ingredients to your home. All you have to do is put them together, cook it. They even give you the recipe right there. It makes you look very impressive, and you get the pride of knowing that you made your own home-cooked meal right there with the help of HelloFresh. And here's what you're gonna like about it. See, y'all sit up here laughing, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's a lot of great things going on with HelloFresh. For example, they're bigger now. HelloFresh has doubled the menu, Julian. Okay. Now you can choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes that you just prepared for this season right here coming up, and they also got recipes from all around the world. You have also, you got to pack it away. They got bigger portions now.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
You know, and HelloFresh has you, man. They got enough food to even keep a Julian satisfied over here.
Yes.
Healthier. You can choose from 15 plus high protein recipes each week with options like, oh, Mark, you're going to like this, grass-fed ribeye beef out there, lamb chops, but kids, don't forget your veggies out there now, because they also have greener and veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more vegetables per dish. Y'all hungry? You ready to cook right now? So let me give you this code. Go to HelloFresh.com/doubletoasted 10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. Like, you heard me correct. Now that's one box with active subscription, free meals applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, and it varies by plan. I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Oh, man. One of the things that I want to give this director big respect for, Yorgos Lanthimos. I want to give him respect for the casting of this young man right here, Aiden Delbus, who plays the cousin, Don. And when I saw, when I saw this movie, I was kind of getting mad because I thought, oh, here we go with this old Forrest Gump shit. Don is autistic.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought, man, here they go with another actor playing, an autistic person and laying it on way too thick. You don't really see any clips that I have available of that, but you can hear him in the background. You can hear how he's talking, with the sort of autistic way.
Diction.
There you go. Thank you.
Incredible.
What is? How can you tell she's an alien?
Well, I was like, all right, man. And then I saw him in an interview online. I looked him up and saw him in an interview, and he started talking.
So what were you like when you first got that script? When you first saw that script? Were you immediate yes?
I found it very...
Okay, now you're going too far, man. Now just stop the act and speak with your regular... he's really on the spectrum.
Oh, so it's not one of these things like Austin Buckner who kept talking like Elvis even after the movie was
No,
way
you're one of
over.
those actors who's so method acting and into the character they just keep going. I was like, wait a minute, man, this is offensive. And no, he's
Yeah.
He really is on the spectrum. And let me tell you, man, and I'm not grading him on a curve either. I'm not saying, oh, he's autistic, so he's good for being an autistic person. No, he's actually really great in the movie.
Well, I found the script very, very absurd and interesting.
He's the only one that's looking at everything, and for him to be on the spectrum, he's the only one that's kind of looking at everything in a sensible way.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one that you really would like as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking at his cousin and thinking half the stuff he's doing is wrong, and then he sees the woman and he says, I see you're trying to, I know you're conniving and you're trying to turn me against my cousin. And at a certain point, he's just kind of like, just take me to space. I don't know what to make of this anymore. But he's very good in the movie, man. As I say, he's the soul of the film. He was kind of my favorite character. Jesse Plemons is my favorite performance, but he was my favorite character.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the cinematography in this movie. It's one of the things I've always liked about this director, because for a lot of his movies kind of feel cold. This movie actually is a very warm film. It's
very colorful.
Did you notice that?
I did.
It's a lot of color.
I noticed the framing was super precise and the colors were popping.
Yeah, especially when they start getting scenes like this where all these characters, they're at a boiling point. So everything is kept warm, feeling like it's about to blow up at any moment. But there's also this whole thing about the bees and
yes.
And like if you like
the bees.
God damn it, bees.
I'm not even kidding. There is incredible footage of bees in this. Like, it is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's colorful too, because he's right. They do these close up on the bees, and these guys are beekeepers also. So they're keeping a lot of springtime colors in there. The colors are really popping here. They did major color grading on this movie, and it shows, and it's beautiful especially for being a dark comedy like this. This director, I thought I criticized him early on for using a wide angle lens, because he loves to use a wide angle lens, almost with a fisheye effect going on sometimes. But it's just his thing now, and he actually frames with it very well. So there's a whole lot of wide angle lenses to become his thing. Also, there's just some weird cuts in here, man. There's weird cuts where now when I say weird, it's just you'll come from a moment with no music or anything, and then you'll cut to this loud blaring symphony music when somebody's just doing something just like riding down the street on a bike or something like that. that kind of thing. You know, they'll do that damn
Hans Zimmer.
That Hans Zimmer. What was it?
Inception.
Inception noise. Yeah. It'll jar you, man, when they cut to a scene like that.
I like when music and sound is used like that, but I thought it was effective and fitting because the tension is like at an all-time high when that happens.
Well, when it cuts, it does cut to a character that's doing something that's that they're at the highest emotional level. Like when they play music like that, they'll cut to Jesse Plemons riding down the street, crying, mad on his bike, and it fits the mood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, man, I love everything in this movie except the story. But I don't even hate the story. I like a lot of the things that are going on with the story. But see, my problem is I predicted where this movie would go before I even got into the theater.
Oh.
Once I knew the premise of the film, I said, it could possibly go there, but that'll be a cop-out.
Uh-huh.
And they did it anyway.
Oh.
And for a moment, I thought it would play out differently because there are so many good scenes in here. But, some of those scenes work amazingly. There's some scenes, I'll think back on them like, well, now that I know what happened, those scenes aren't as cool. And now that's the personal thing for me.
Yeah.
Because the movie was kind of saying something at one moment. And it's not my place to say what this man should say with this movie. I'm just telling you what direction I thought he was taking me in.
Yeah.
But I thought that we were doing this whole statement about the oligarchy that we're living in right now, about corporate corruption. And it just kind of led to a joke, and a predictable joke at that. For me. Now, I don't think that's going to be a problem for everybody, though. I think other people they're going to be taken in for this ride, and some people are going to love the way this ends. And to be honest with you, I actually appreciate the ending.
I thought the ending was what really brought together the whole message of it for me. Like when the ending was happening, I was like, aha, there's the shoe moment. I understand what you're trying to say.
They did something at the end that I appreciate, that I like, that I've said they should do for other movies. I've seen that there is a category of movie that I said, you know what, I wish that they would actually take a different approach and do this more often. And this movie did it. But I did not like. Again, I predicted where it was going. I personally thought the movie could have been smarter because that was such an obvious place to go. But like I said, that's me. Other people like you say, like other people they're gonna be just fine with it. So it's just a personal thing with me.
Yeah, I thought I took this kind of like as a mystery. It's like I believe both of these characters. Only one of them can be right. What is going on? And I was just in it for this, and I think that the acting is really what carries it through. But really want to emphasize that cinematography. Like this guy knows how to follow a subject with the camera. Like he will make someone driving their car down the street look so sick. It's amazing to watch.
Well, he does a lot of tracking shots.
Yeah.
And his tracking shots and following, he does that a lot. That's his thing. Wide angle lens and always tracking somebody. He's like at the beginning of the movie, you can almost count the tracking shots. Like at the beginning of the movie, he's following her. There's so many scenes where Jesse Plemons is having a hard time, and he just gets on that bike and just rides his ass off crying, and they're following him. No, there's a lot of tracking shots, and you're right, they're all cool.
I wanted to ask you one more actor that's a pretty big deal that he's in this movie. Stavros, the comedian, the guy who played the cop.
Oh, what's his name?
His name is Stavros. I think he goes by Stevie or something like that. He's this pretty well-known stand-up comedian. And although I thought that he was the weakest...
Stavros
Halkias.
Halkin, yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually pretty good.
I thought that he was one of the weaker performances, but I thought that his character was really... there was a lot there. And I thought that he did something with it, and I appreciated that.
I actually like that story because it's a story where you're like, they never make clear what it is.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But they allude to something really bad happening. And this character did it. He plays a cop who
has a history with Jesse.
Yeah, he's related to Teddy.
Teddy, yeah.
And that's something that went down because he keeps coming up and like, hey man, sorry about what happened back in the day. And it's like, okay, what happened? And nobody's really saying. So it's like, that's another one. Yeah, good call on bringing him up, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him working because I think he's a very funny comedian.
There's a lot of things in this movie where I can see why I love this director, and we're kind of back to that director that I love. Like I said, the only thing I had a problem with was the story and mainly the ending, because I think it's fascinating where it's going. But I personally think it's a real cop-out what they did with that ending. But again, like I said, man, there's an argument to be made for why that works for other people.
It's weird because I agree with you, but while I was watching, I was like, I'm so happy this is happening. Like, I really like that they did this at the end. Like, it goes nuts. Like, I have a movie I want to compare it to, but I feel like it'll be a spoiler to say it. I'll tell you after we get off the air. But I'm ready to give my rating unless there's something else you want to talk about. I'm pretty close to all the way there, but this is definitely a full price. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I love watching this director work. These actors are awesome. They nail, like, 99% of this. I had a blast watching it, and I recommend it. If you like those weird things, if you had a good time watching Poor Things, or maybe if we do a spoiler talk one of these days about this for like just 5 seconds, there's other movies, but full price for this.
I give it a high matinee. Yeah, I give it a high matinee. I liked it a lot. I just, like I said, just personal with me, the ending, but hey,
I think we can agree this is a great step in the right direction for this director.
Yeah. No, I think it's hey, nothing else. It's got amazing performances in it, and it's a great looking film.
Yeah, like everyone did their job. Costume, makeup, everyone.
Yeah. If nothing else, it's one of the best made movies of the year.
Yeah, I remember walking out of this, I was like, man, I wish half the movies we saw were as good as this. Like this shows, at the end of the day, when you watch this, you are watching someone care about their craft. And they're delivering something that feels unique, even if it may be a remake.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of that lately.
Yeah, it's nice. I think you'll like it, Martin. I'm curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, it's like you said, man, it's this director. That's one of the reasons why I love him, because it's him. He has a look, he has a style. Might not agree with everything that he does. I like everything he does, but I definitely think that he's really one of the most original visions out there as far as a filmmaker goes. So that's I recommend it. I recommend people seeing it. I mean, of course, you got to be careful. It's one of those movies. He's one of those directors you can't recommend for everybody.
Sure.
And it goes a lot darker than the trailer shows.
Well, there'll be really good movies that I think are kind of mainstream enough, and I'll recommend them to people, and they'll come back and like, why'd you tell me about that crazy movie? I was like, all right, I can't I can't get on everybody's sensibilities.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know if you'll like it, but that's why I always tell people, if you like weird, let's start with that. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.